Hey guys, it's Sierra with Simple Life Rich, and I'm here today to give you my 6-month dread update. But yeah, so my last video was from about 5 months ago, and even though not much has really changed with the way the dreads look or my dreadlocks have formed, if you stay tuned to the very end of the video, then I'm going to give you a full timeline of all 6 months of pictures of my dreads. So you can see them when they originally started, and then you can see them all the way until they are now. But I'm making this video today because today is hair washing day. It's been like 5 or 6 days since I washed my hair, and my loose hair needs it big time. And so anyway, I thought that I would give you a glimpse in today of what my dreads look like before I wash them, and then what they look like after I wash them, and also kind of my after shower routine. So let me go ahead and get these babies wrapped up. Alrighty, so like I said, my dreadlocks are right around 6 months old. Got some loose hair down there. And today is shower day, so here's what they look like before the shower. Yeah, so hopefully you were kind of able to see all of that. Hopefully the glare from the window back there didn't just kill you guys. But here's kind of a look of what they look like from the front at 6 months. You can see some have, still got this really meaty base up here at the top, and then they get a little thin, but they're thickening. Like, this is definitely thicker than the last time I showed you this video. So they're coming along. But you can see the difference between where I've got loose root down here at the very, very base, where I've got what is seemingly mature dreadlocks, even though they're only 6 months old. I mean, they're pretty dense in there. And then we have what is still maturing dreadlock down here at the end. I don't know if we can get that into really good focus or not, if it's just going to focus on the fan back there. But, anyway, so this is kind of what they look like. You can see with most of them, they hit a pretty hard kink right where the solid dreadlock stops, and then the, baby or pet dreads still down here at the end have yet to form. Most of them do hit a pretty hard little kink spot where that happens. But they're coming along. So I am going to go hop in the shower, get all my hair washed up, get the dreadlocks washed. Like I said, it's been almost a week. Here's some of the shorter ones down here on the bottom row. These two just don't have as much length to them. I think it's because this is just relatively thin patch of head back here. Down here at the very bottom, I just didn't have a ton of hair. And so in the long run, it has just taken them a little bit longer to gain length and catch up with the rest. But they've got mature, thick sections to them. So they're coming along. Alrighty. This chick's getting in the shower, this hair's getting washed, and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, I am fresh out of the shower. As you can see, my hair is still soaking wet, and I'm just kind of going to go through the process that I have for maintaining my partial dreadlocks when I get out of the shower. So step number 1, separate all the loose hair from the dreadlocks. Now this has already partially been done for me, because as I wash my hair, I do still condition the loose hair down here, and with that I have to maintain a part between my loose hair and my dreadlocks. You can see that there's already kind of a part there, and I'm literally just going to brush it out from that line forward. And it's not exact science, I just get close. Alrighty, so now that all my loose hair is all brushed out, what I do is I pull it up into a clip and separate it so that it stays out of the way. Alrighty, and now we have just the dreadlocks remaining down and soaking wet. So the first thing I like to do with my really wet partial dreadlocks is just kind of come in and loosely towel roll a few of them at a time. And what this does is really help to get some of that excess moisture out. And it also kind of helps give the hair, any loose hair you have outside of the dread, a little friction to maybe attach back to that dread it's closest to, which is what you want. Alrighty, so I got a little towel roll action. It's definitely a little drier than it was. What I do from here is I just use a salt spray. And the reason why this bottle has absolutely no labels on it is because I make it myself. This is just your regular brown amber bottle with a squirter, a spray nozzle on it. And what I've done is I've taken sea salt, like that you can buy and that we use in cooking, and I have just added it to hot water and shaken it till it's all dissolved. Once it's all dissolved, you have salt water that you can put into your dreads. I also live about 3 blocks from the ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, so sometimes I just walk down there and bottle it up when the ocean is really clear and there's no algae or extra stuff in it. And that's also, if you live near the ocean, a perfectly acceptable way to get your salt water for your dreads. Salt water helps to add texture to the hair. It's also a very natural product, so it's not going to damage your hair. It will kind of dry it out, but you know, once a month with my dreadlocks, at least I moisturize them with some essential oils, but that's for a totally different video. Anyway, so what I do with my salt spray is I just kind of take one dread at a time, and I start up here and I just kind of give them a spritz all the way down, and then I palm roll. Dry your hands off, palm roll again. You see, I'm not just going extreme with how much I'm palm rolling or how hard I'm palm rolling or anything like that. I don't use excessive salt water, you know, but the reason why I add the salt water to the dreads before I palm roll is because as you palm roll, it will kind of help pull some of that excess moisture out of your dreadlocks. And so if you notice when you get out of the shower that your dreads just take forever to dry, they're going to do that anyway. But one way I kind of help speed up the process is through this palm rolling after I get out. And what it does is it just kind of pulls all the moisture down through the length of the dread and helps it dry a little bit faster. Now that the top row is done, I will go back and do the bottom row. Alrighty, and now that I have palm rolled all the dreads with a little salt spray, I'm going to kind of show you what palm rolling does, or I'm going to make an honest effort. So, as weird as this is, I have a little tiny dreadlock right here. And all this is hair, loose hair, that I pulled out of my brush, right? It's empty now because I pulled all the hair out. But I just pulled the hair out and I had this clump of loose hair, and then I just did like this for like 30 seconds. And it came out to look just like this. And if you notice, this is an awful lot of what, compared to the loose hair it was just a moment ago, this looks a lot like a dreadlock. And so this to me is kind of my example of what palm rolling will do. Now, palm rolling will not form a dread out of loose hair. Palm rolling will take loose hair that is in the dread and just coming out at a different place and kind of mat it back down to itself. And if you can see, that's kind of what we have here. It's just a bunch of hair that's been matted to itself and formed its own little cohesive structure that doesn't need any extra support. So There are arguments out there for palm rolling. There are arguments out there for not palm rolling. I personally kind of want the look of a little bit tidier dreads. And so I do palm rolling. It's my preference, and this is kind of my explanation as to why I do it. I feel like it kind of helps keep things tighter to the dread and a little bit more neater looking. I don't know. I think it's nicer. So anyway, now that we have washed the dreads, sectioned the hair, palm rolled them, and salt sprayed them, I'm going to go through and separate between the sections. I do this after like every 3 or 4 times that I wash. I don't do it every single time, but you do want to do it fairly often because you don't want the bases of your dreadlocks to start to grow together, and then instead of being 2 separate dreadlocks, grow into one really fat one. Unless that's what you want, then go for it. But if it's not, then you're going to want to separate your sections. And here's kind of how I get that done. And there you have sectioning out or parting and making sure all of your sections stay separated. Super easy. It doesn't take much time. If you do it often, it's not a painful process. If you don't do it often and your dreadlocks start to knot together here at the base, it's going to be pretty painful trying to separate them. So do yourself a favor, separate often, okay? Now that all that's done, I am almost done fixing my hair. It's time to get it dried. So when I wrap my hair up into a towel, the way I wrap it up is I wrap all of this up into the towel, and then believe it or not, I actually leave the dreadlocks down. And the reason for that is because when I pin them up into the towel, they usually get some crazy kinky bend or twist in it, and the next thing I know, one dreadlock's sticking straight out from my head. And so in order to make sure that they kind of all keep laying flat and in the direction that I want them to, I actually keep them down when I wrap my hair. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like. All right. My hair is wrapped. It's set to dry. I typically don't leave it in a towel any more than 15 20 minutes max. That's all that the towel can really handle as far as pulling moisture out of your dreadlocks, and then after that it's really not doing a whole lot other than just sitting up there wet. I also leave my hair down like this because I find it helps the dreadlocks to drain their moisture better. This portion of the towel is holding on to the top 3-4 inches of the dread depending on where they are in my head, so they're soaking up that moisture, and any of the remaining moisture is able to use gravity to its benefit and help pull the water out towards the end and help these ends drip dry in the process. So this is the way I typically get my hair dried. My hair is mostly dry now, so I'm going to give you a peek at what they look like dry. Alrighty guys, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a like down below. You can also subscribe to this channel of Simple Life Rich to stay tuned with all of our dreadlock updates. We'll see you later. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed the video of the time lapse of my dreads. My hair's dry, I'm officially done. We'll see you later.